Yo.
Man. Twice a week. This is the second time.
3 times this week.
3 times this week, ladies and gentlemen. We're firing off.
Yes, we are.
I'm No Justin, No Peace.
And I'm Blue Rivers.
And we are the Loose Cannons Podcast because every week we are firing off our opinions on today's pop culture, politics, and movies and how they all intersect. And this is the social breakdown.
Yes, this week.
Listen, there's a lot going on.
This
is
just a little bit.
This was interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting how the media kind of like labeled this because it really had nothing to do with her.
Yeah, I know.
Simone Biles' brother?
Yes.
He's on trial? Or he was found guilty?
No, he was indicted.
If you lie like a mother, that's all I'm supposed to.
Right.
Still there?
Yes. But you can't keep changing it on me. Okay?
He was indicted.
Triple homicide connected to New Year's Day?
Interesting.
It's September, right?
Yes.
All right.
Hold on. Simone Biles,
Yes.
Olympian,
Yes.
gold medalist
Yes.
in gymnastics, multiple disciplines within gymnastics. She was the talk of the Olympics, especially in gymnastics.
Yes.
Man. But this is kind of a bring down on her brand,
Yeah, it is.
at least in the media.
Right. I
Now-
mean, this is obviously to people who follow. This
Yes.
is the most important thing, like, you know, the surroundings and how people are brought up and
Yeah.
their connections. So, I mean, it's pretty tough. Her brother, triple homicide, amongst other offenses, they said. Triple homicide in Cleveland, Ohio.
Interesting.
I didn't even know that they were from.
I don't know if she was living there because I believe part of her story is that she was adopted by the grandmother. And I don't know if they were still living in Cleveland or they moved out of Cleveland or
Probably separate households.
so it's her brother. I don't know if she actually grew up with this brother. If
Right.
it's
Do you know how old she is by any chance?
Simone Biles got to be in her early 20s.
Yeah, he's 24, so
They're kind
close
of
in age.
Yeah, they are close in age.
But yeah, I mean, this was something that was, I guess, big for them to promote. I mean, we get a lot of these, but not often is it Olympians
Connected to
Right.
it. Now, the people that he killed, they didn't mention their names. So
Nothing
obviously,
at
they
all.
weren't famous.
No sort of description at all.
Yeah.
I mean, there is nothing. I like even during the stories, I'm just like looking and I'm like, all right, so are we going to talk about someone other than the killer that you have currently?
Yeah.
So
And this is the problem. It's like the media likes to connect people because they want to make news out of this situation.
right.
Who's really caring about this except that they made it about Simone Biles,
Right, exactly.
which is really unfair to her.
Definitely. I mean, for no other reason than there being a story about something that happened in Cleveland. As tragic as it is, it doesn't always get nationwide coverage.
Yep.
So just for the fact that this is something that we have to talk about is
Crazy.
yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I think the sadder thing is that after we had did our podcast last week,
Yeah.
I went out to get a Popeye's chicken sandwich,
Yeah.
and they're out.
Great marketing, huh?
They are. I don't even know if they're legitimately out, but I'm upset.
Damn, bro, they got a chicken sandwich, bro.
Ooh, baby.
Hey, bro, what's up? What you got in there, bro?
Nothing.
What you mean? What you got in there? You got some chicken sandwich?
Chick. I don't eat chicken. I'm allergic to chicken.
What you mean? Then why you come out of Papa? Let me see, bro. Let me see the chicken sandwich, bro.
No, I just got some fries.
Just fries?
Yeah.
Let me see, bro.
You don't want to see these fries. These baked fries, nasty fries. They ain't even fried.
What they got? They got it from the back?
Yeah, from.
Bro, I smell that, bro. Let me see.
You
Bro,
smell
let me
it.
see that. I smell it, bro.
Is that good?
Yeah, is that good? I smell it.
No. You want me to tell you exactly what it is?
Go.
They ain't got no competition on Sundays.
They got no competition on
We had
Sundays.
recorded last Sunday, right?
Yes.
It wasn't like people could, let me go to Chick-fil-A.
No.
Chick-fil-A
You couldn't.
closed.
You definitely couldn't. They are out nationwide, they said.
I'm tell you right, I bet you I get one today. I bet you I find one.
Listen, it was such a frenzy because it's interesting because how people are attributing like this whole chicken sandwich thing to social media, and it is attributed to social media and different forms of social media. But why are people hating with people just being happy about having a good sandwich?
I know. I mean, the thing that I like is the fact that finally it's also something that's not negative. Like, we can joke about it. We can, if you really wanted to do something, and you think that, oh, well, these companies, this, that, and the other. All right, well, let's do a Crown Fried Chicken in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Versus one other joint you got, the Chinese food spot down the block.
That's what I'm saying.
Who got the best chicken on a bone? Who got the best fried chicken?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's compete. Throw it up on Twitter. Listen.
Yep.
Also, another update from last week. This is still going.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going. Everybody's still talking about it because we got a couple of details.
Yes.
Small couple of details. Okay. Update on Jay-Z.
Ooh, jigga. Okay. So NFL. I guess this week they're doing their first launch, the Inspire Change, which, as I said before, has been out since 2017, since the kneeling started. It's just that it hasn't gotten the worldwide coverage that it should get.
Gotcha.
The first thing that they're doing is apparel. So for the Inspire Change, they're doing. I'm assuming it's a concert. That's September 5th. That's this Thursday in Grant Park in Chicago.
It isn't that the opening of
the season starts this week. Yes. So Thursday. Yes. If they're doing the concert Thursday, the first game is Thursday night.
Gotcha.
So first game of the season is Thursday night. Meek Mill, Rhapsody, and Meghan Trainor.
Yes.
They were named advocates. So we're seeing the first stage of this opening to promote this Inspire Change. All proceeds are going to different organizations that support the cause.
Yes.
So,
and this is on top of the $100 million they said they pledged?
Right. Because the NFL basically pays this, and whatever concerts they throw, if there's admission charges or whatever, or whatever's sold, whatever profits they get, go to all these organizations. That's it.
This sounds great. There's nothing to complain about with the things that sound great.
Right.
But there's something to complain about if the things that sound great are just a mirage.
Right.
Just a mirage. Now, the question is, this is the big question. If the NFL actually had no problem with social justice reform, prison reform, all these different things, would there have been a problem with Colin Kaepernick playing?
I don't think it would have been a problem. I think honestly, the problem came from the handful of owners. And when I say a handful of owners, I mean there's 32 teams.
Yes.
I'm almost certain that it was probably the 5 or fewer owners that had a problem.
So the problem is we're wrapping up the NFL as a whole as a separate. There's owners, and then there's the organization.
Right. So the 32 owners get together.
Yes.
Make all these decisions. The commissioner is the one who basically has to just enforce whatever the owners come up with.
Gotcha.
So, and when you're an owner, it's so different from being like we're part of one big business. And even though you're part of one big business, that one team is your business.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you're going to run your business how you feel.
Absolutely.
Fit. And it's tough to be part of a collective. Yes. You still feel like you represent your business.
Yes.
So, I mean, like, for people, especially when the whole Colin Kaepernick thing happened, the 49ers were supporting Kaepernick.
Yes, they were.
And the people are just like, oh, it's the NFL. They don't do this.
No.
The 49ers, so when it started, I guess the end of 2016, they developed their own organization. They matched every dollar that went in. They did all that.
Interesting.
So it wasn't until 2017 where the NFL actually got into it and they started the Initiate Change program. But all that went underneath the rug because
it did.
Jerry Jones, who's one of the largest owners of one of the biggest teams in this collective, was very vocal about being against Kaepernick.
Super vocal.
So, of course, people take that as, oh, the NFL is against Kaepernick.
Yeah.
But it's literally the handful of owners who aren't. So then the whole thing is like, all right, well, if these handful of owners don't support Kaepernick, don't have a problem with Kaepernick, then what's the issue? And obviously the whole thing is all right, well, you have to think that more than half the teams probably already have a quarterback.
Yes.
Can't afford a second quarterback.
No.
And then the handful who are willing to may be in small markets where they are deeply affected if they do hire Kaepernick. So it's kind of like a lose-lose for both sides.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's still a business. And as much as
is.
we want to believe, like, all right, well, they got to put out the best product on the field, chances are that the most important thing for them is that they have to put out the most marketable team. So that's why I think that the only two teams who actually considered Kaepernick were the New York Giants, who really wouldn't have had a problem signing him, and the Patriots, supposedly, who wouldn't have had a problem.
I think we're kind of expecting too much from the NFL also.
Right.
Like, it's a sport, it is a tradition and a business that uses people and their body to the maximum capacity. And when they're broken down, they ship them off and get rid of them. Exactly. Like, that is part of the model. Like, the entertainment, these are the gladiators. The entertainment is rough, rugged, horrible, and it's a use of a human being. Right. And we know that at this point, they brush the CTE under the rug.
Yep.
This is better for them than the CTE, but they brush the CTE under the rug.
Quickly.
Do you think they're not going to brush this under the rug?
Easily.
Even if in Goodell's heart, he actually feels like there was really nothing wrong with what Kaepernick did.
Right.
But he's hired by the organizations.
Exactly.
He can lose his job too.
Exactly.
He's not an owner.
Right. He's not.
He is not an owner.
He's got a contract. When that contract is up, they could go, we're going to go a different way.
We're going to go a different way. That's it.
And that's the whole thing. The whole thing about him is that, I mean, as a commissioner of a collective, you kind of really have to, your only job is to make the business more money.
Yes.
So the collective has to continually to make more money.
Yes.
And they believe that you've done a good job. So if you go, this could hurt the market of our teams.
Yeah.
All right, I understand. We have to do this. So that's especially the reason why I feel like having that, the settlement and a non-disclosure, we have absolutely no clue what Kaepernick could have been told, could have done. They could have easily told him, like, all right, well, you have to agree that you have to know that every team here can't hire you.
Yeah.
And we've agreed to that. And if you agree to it, you can do whatever you want. So, of course, the whole appearing to continue to be ready.
Yes.
And wanting to be hired. But, of course, I'm not going to tell you that they can't hire me.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you that I can't sign a contract. But as long as I look up and appear to be ready, okay, well, then I will continue to get the support. We can continue this movement.
Yeah.
And, of course, if other players don't know about this agreement, like Kenny Stills, who originally was in Miami, who was just traded to the Texans. He was against the whole Jay-Z being signed. I don't know if you heard about that last week also. The coach had played 8 straight Jay-Z songs in training camp. This week they said it was like, oh, he wanted to see if he could handle the pressure of being mocked in another stadium. So, I mean, it made sense. But you can't tell these other players that, yo, like, what happened is what happened. I can't really say, but you know, this is the path we're going. Yeah. So
I guess also, like, the key is I have a problem with the comparison of Kaepernick and Jay-Z with Malcolm and Martin.
Yeah.
Jay hasn't taken, like, as much of the things that he's done that he's listed off for. At one point, it was like, you know, I don't need to speak about all the things that I've done as far as social justice. Right. Now it's like, I'm going to list off the things because I'm getting the heat for not doing anything for social justice. I kind of have a problem with. But Kaepernick took a real big step. That was actually a small step for him at that moment, but turned into something bigger. Right. And he was willing to continue and honor that ongoing. And he lost his position. He lost his job. We haven't seen Jay-Z do anything that made him lose.
Right. Like he hasn't done something of risk.
Yes. So we can't compare him to two individuals who were putting their necks out on a continuous situation. We really can't even compare Kaepernick.
Well, honestly, you know, I mean, on a general sense, I can see Kaepernick's movement being more representative, if we wanted to do it for this generation, more representative of Rosa Parks.
Yeah, she sat down.
You're thinking that what I'm doing is so small.
Yes.
But it meant so much.
Yes.
And I think that having Jay-Z's contract with the NFL, to me, looked more like what I told you before, the whole Martin taking pictures with Lyndon B. Johnson and having those whole conversations and people being upset that he went to the White House and had these conversations. And it's just like, oh, well, they're not for us. But at the same time, how do we have progress without
The
that?
point of the agitation is to get the attention.
Right.
So what Colin did was to get the attention, to get the news coverage, to get the media coverage, to get people talking about it.
Right.
Martin was looking for something specific.
Right.
He was looking for civil rights, changing in laws. He got a bill for that.
Right.
Jay-Z is not the representation. Him signing this contract with the NFL is not a representation of that type of change.
Right.
We're hoping that there will be more change in the future, but that's not representation of that type of change. But the truth is, the NFL wasn't the ones that Colin originally had the problem with.
Right.
It wasn't them.
Right.
It was their response
Right.
to the way he was protesting.
The response of few.
The response of few.
Right.
And see, now the problem is, sure, everybody outside could have had a total problem, all the watchers.
Right.
We hate him kneeling. The owners didn't have to have shit to say about it.
Right.
They could have kept their mouth shut. But they didn't keep their mouth shut, the few, because they actually personally had the problem with it.
Right.
And so the problem is they had a personal belief in which they brought into the business of it.
Right.
And that's the whole problem, because it had nothing to do with the rules of the NFL, had nothing to do with what it was doing to the NFL. It had to do with their personal feelings.
Exactly.
And then our president saying what he said about Colin
And
Kaepernick.
he's not even part of the NFL.
Not even part of the NFL.
Right. And I think that's like a big thing, because we always look at the NFL as a whole instead of looking at the individuals who are saying something, because they're like, oh, an owner of the NFL,
Yes.
owner of a team from the NFL
Yeah.
said this. So it's just like, oh, the NFL did this?
Yeah.
And it's not quite, because at the same time, you're like, all right, Jerry Jones said this in 2017, but in 2018, Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots is flying to Pennsylvania to try to get Meek Mill out of jail.
That is very
You
true.
understand what I mean? Like, it's tough.
And wearing his chain on the float.
Right.
Chase's chain. Very interesting.
Bringing him to the Super Bowl or playoff
Yes.
games or whatever. So it's kind of like you're kind of seeing that owners are very different. So it's not
Yes.
like it's the same everywhere. But when you have the largest voices saying things, that's
Yes.
when you're just like, oh, the whole NFL.
Now, if Meek is not willing to have these conversations with Robert Kraft and explain to him his upbringing, his lifestyle, that I think people just really need to realize you might not know much about other people's life. And I think that's the perfect representation. As much as you think you may know what goes on in the hood or the ghetto, however you want to label it, you don't.
Right.
Especially if you've never been there, if you've never lived there. And even if you live there, you don't know what's going on in another neighbor's house.
Right.
You have to start asking more questions than making assumptions. And the same thing, as much as we don't know what's going on in certain areas of the country, like let's say Appalachia or West Virginia, you know, a lot of people who live on the coast, we posture for people in certain areas of our country, and we actually have no idea what they're really going through.
Right.
We need to stop making assumptions and ask more questions. But once we ask the question, and you answer it, then that's free reign.
Right.
That's free reign. And it's the same thing that's going on here. Everybody should be asking questions to Jay-Z.
Right.
Ask questions.
Get
But
that
Jay-Z,
information.
be on notice. Be on notice. If it starts to look suspect, if you start moving suspect, you're open season, bruh.
Right.
You're open season.
But I think that he was prepared for this type of criticism. And I think that we're going to see most of that work come out throughout the year.
We'll love it.
And for the fact that...
Or at least the criticism created more heat, like, we got to make this real.
Right. So for the fact that I think the first thing was... The most important thing here is the apparel. Now the idea is that not only is... Now we're going to get the message out, because frankly, the people who normally buy this stuff is our culture.
Yes.
People who buy the jerseys is of the other culture.
But the apparel needs to be fire.
Oh.
Because there's so much heat on this right now This apparel needs to be fire.
Yeah, but that's one of the exact reasons why I said imagine if the I Can't Breathe shirt is actually made by the you understand what I mean?
Then they win.
Right. So the whole thing is now that can go anywhere. And the whole thing is now it's not just in the NFL shop. You're not just buying it from the NFL. Chances are this is going to be in Macy's. This is going to be in Sears.
Huge.
This is going to be in department stores.
Huge.
So, I mean, I can see it. I can definitely see it. We just got to see what the concerts look like.
We just got to see what the concert is. And don't make it cheesy, guys.
Yeah.
Don't make it cheesy. Listen, at the end of the day, wait and see. Sad news real quick.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart in a serious car accident?
Yeah, man.
Car went off right there. It was Kevin Hart.
I want to say it looked like a old Barracuda. Well, the company that does these cars, the old hot rods and stuff.
Got you.
And it looked like the top was torn off.
Like, I don't even understand where individuals could be in this vehicle. The word is he had to crawl out. He crawled out to get to safety. It was in a ditch.
Oh, really?
It was in a ditch. If you look at the TMZ pictures, which we're going to put up, it was in a ditch, and I guess he crawled to the top of the highway to get help, and he has serious back injuries, and the driver has serious back injuries. Like, it looked like, I don't know, they must have been mashed in there.
Yeah, because it kind of looked, it looked kind of like a roll.
Yeah.
So, because the top is either torn off or flattened somehow.
Yes.
So.
No matter what, that's still bad.
Well, Kevin Hart is in our prayers.
Send him out, Kevin Hart.
Hoping he makes a speedy recovery.
That's right.
Hopefully he got that Tracy Morgan guardian angel.
I know.
Yeah.
Tracy Morgan went through it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, car accidents, like, you kind of, like, take it for granted just being on the road.
Yeah.
And we do it every day, all day, but damn it, you never know when it's going to turn south.
Right.
Much love to the Hart family. Let's dance on to the next.
Yo.
Last week, right after we recorded,
Yes.
the VMAs.
Yes.
The VMAs.
You know, I don't do award shows, but
You don't do award
we kinda
shows.
Caught it.
Yes. And I caught the recap of the performance.
Yeah.
Missy Elliott was rewarded for
Lifetime achievement.
Lifetime Achievement in Videos, obviously for the Video Music Awards.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, they got it right.
Yeah.
Too late, but
Yeah.
they got it right.
They were finally pressured by social media enough.
I didn't even know all of that was
Me
happening.
neither.
I missed all of that. There's
was-
another fellow podcast because she named them in the award.
Yeah.
The Read with Crystal and Kid Fury.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're a big podcast to read on the Loudspeaker Network. Apparently they did some like social media storm, and it just
Took over.
took over.
Okay.
And then MTV took
All
notice.
right. Okay. All right. We're gonna get.
Who was going to get it before?
Right.
Before they had to have been playing to somebody.
I don't know at this point.
Wow.
So, Missy. I mean, I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is one of my favorite artists right here.
She's amazing.
Yeah. I remember getting the Super Duper Fly CD. I was like, oh.
Her streams had to go up because I was streaming multiple songs
Yeah. Okay.
this whole week.
You think about just the hits, like especially during that time.
It's crazy.
Yeah. The videos were ridiculous. The dance and the choreography. Obviously, a big part of her platform was dancing.
Yes.
She shouted out all dancers. So I mean, it was really good. The performance was great, but it was one of my favorite artists and so underrated. Because I mean, if you
Super
really
underrated.
think about it, someone asked me if she's in my top 50. I totally even never thought about it.
She probably got to be in the top 50.
But the thing that's so underrated is, as much as she's a phenomenal performer, she's one of my favorite female rappers. Videos, awesome. Yo, she's like one of the most underrated writers.
Gotta be. Gotta be. And we don't mention her.
Right. She wrote for Janet, wrote for Beyonce, wrote for almost every group that she was part of or endorsed.
Tweet.
Yeah, I mean, like the
Fantasia.
endless hits. And everyone, I'm talking about hits.
Hits.
So, I mean, I think
Sierra.
so underrated. So many people shouted her out, tagged her, tweeted her, just thanking her for her years of service. Like, man, she's out here, Such a big foundation to a lot of artists today.
It's really important. Listen, if you haven't listened to Missy in a while, just go on to whatever platform and just listen to the joints.
Yep.
Because they are fire.
Yep.
Fire.
And she released the album last week.
Yes, it's pretty good.
Okay, cool.
It's an EP.
Cool. Yeah.
The single is crazy. Is what she performed at the
VMA'S.
At the VMAs.
Right.
Lil Nas X got an EP out.
Yeah?
I ain't listened to it yet. That single is what he performed.
All right, I gotta check
Interesting. Happy for Missy.
Yeah, me too.
Is BUSTA next?
I hope so. Bust.
BUSTA used to be one of my favorite rappers when I was growing up. When I was younger.
Bust is my favorite rapper as grown up. Easily my favorite rapper.
Easy.
Yeah. From Brooklyn.
BUSTA's amazing.
Yeah.
He's underrated too.
Definitely.
He's on nobody's list.
He's on my list, son.
Gotta get it, then I gotta blow it, then I gotta show that every little thing a nigga think he be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna murder everything and everything about a boom, about a big. Do a lot of things, give it to a couple niggas that I always with it, then I gotta get it again. And I be doing it to death, and no one move a little fella, nigga better call a reference. Everybody know my style, nigga know that I'm the best when it come to doing this, and I be banging on my chest, banging in the east, banging in the west. Gonna give you more, never give you less. Hear it in the city, you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it, and we all up in the race, and we gotta go and try to keep up with the pace, and we struggling to hustle and to set it and to get it, and we gotta do it to get to another place, gotta taste it, and I gotta grab it, I gotta cut all through this traffic to be at the top of the zone, but I know I gotta have it. Have it.
I'm getting tight.
Oh shit! Hey,
He should be on somebody's list.
Yeah, you're right though. It's definitely anybody who knows me from high school, like I was the kid who was walking around with Busta Rhymes lyrics.
Get out of here.
So that you could sing or rap with me.
Got you. I hit you with the what you saying, yo.
Mm-hmm. That's when we had to print everything out, math class, lyrics. I used to be like, oh, we in class. I'd be like, group work, not today.
Nope.
Busta Rhymes here,
He's nasty.
Yeah.
Busta's nasty.
Busta's. Oh, did I tell you I seen him
No.
earlier this year?
No.
This had to be like.
Was he fighting a construction worker in the street?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at the airport.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting and I'm waiting for my flight.
Yeah.
And I go.
In JFK.
In JFK.
Oh.
And I'm like, yo, that sounds like Busta. Yo, and I look.
And he was
and
talking
this
out
dude
loud.
Is walking. Like, just walking.
That's
and
it.
I heard him from like another gate or two. And I was like,
Yo, they changed the fucking gate on us.
yo, it's right over here, God.
They
And I was
changed
like,
the gate, God.
yo, that's Bus. Yo, Bus.
I gotta go get the bag, God.
Yeah, that's why. Shimmy. Nah, but I was out there like, I was like, and this is my favorite rapper growing up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, hey, yo, Bus. What up?
Hit you with what you say, yo.
But yeah, I was like, okay, all right. And I mean, like, yo, if you know Bus from the years ago, even from the Cosby Show, or being like just in the videos, this dude literally went from like $140 to like $350.
Yes,
like, he's a big
Diesel,
dude, yo. So
Diesel,
just like, yo, it's mad funny,
crazy, yo. Much love the Bus, yo. I really love. I love everything that Bus did. His content is crazy.
All right, so we're gonna try to endorse him next.
Yeah, right. Listen, okay. That was social media, but every week we always have something very interesting, very pressing.
What we got
this week in racism. I just read to you how I wrote it down. Christians don't make cakes for mixed race couples.
Yeah.
All right, so there was a video.
Yeah.
This
seems to be a common thing.
This is a common thing. There's a video. They don't care.
Yeah.
This lady was on video saying this. She had to have known the lady had a camera. I mean, the cameras are getting smaller, but it wasn't a GoPro.
Right.
First of all, we don't do gay weddings or mixed race.
Okay, so why not?
Because of our Christian race. I mean, our Christian belief.
Okay, we're Christians as well. So, what in the Bible tells you that?
Well, I don't want to argue my faith.
No, that's
but
fine.
we just don't participate.
Okay.
We just choose not to.
Okay, so that's your Christian belief, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It was a phone.
Oh my
So
God.
we can't really see both people well, but the person who's taking the video, you really don't see well.
Right.
It seems like the whole setup, it was on Sean King's Instagram. The whole setup is I don't know if it was a gay couple or just a mixed race couple, but they were interested in patronizing this woman's bakery.
Right.
It's a regular lady's bakery. It's a white woman's bakery. Who cares? You bake. I don't care.
They don't do any events.
They don't do
Any.
They don't do any events. They don't bake cakes for gay couples. One, we don't do that. And we definitely don't do mixed race couples. And the reason is we're Christians.
Oh.
So the lady asks her, she's like, well, wait, I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Where in the Bible does it say that, ma'am?
I want to know.
She said, listen, I'm not going to debate my faith with you. That is it. That is it. We do not do for the gays, and we do not do for mixed race.
Hey, yo. All right.
Everybody who talks about this mixed race stuff, I just wanted free of charge. I'm going to swab them while they're not looking. I wish that lady just put a swab in her mouth. What are you doing? And send it off and find out that she's 5% Mandingo.
Yeah.
Because it's like... Because it's what does it mean? What does it mean? At this point, do we realize that all that pure stuff does not exist
anywhere?
As brown as our skin is.
Yep.
What? You're gonna probably find some Welsh, some European, whatever.
Something.
Somewhere.
I can't.
What does this mean?
Yeah.
People are so ignorant. They believe this propaganda.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it's been instilled for so many years. I like, what we should do? I did it. All right. We need to play musical chairs with states. And we just need to send every couple people to different states every month.
Yes.
And then send them back home after 2 years. You'll be a little cultured.
You will be cultured.
Just a little cultured.
Yes.
You met some people. You had to work a job. Met different cultures. It wasn't just stuck in you. And then when you get back, everyone shares their stories of, I met these guys. I met these people. And you know what? Maybe we're a little wrong. Maybe we should change.
We're a little wrong.
All right, I'm gonna go try to.
It's because it's like at the end of the day, people got to realize there's someone wrong.
Right.
It's someone wrong. Someone is wrong, and that's one of the things. Like I hate the saying. There's three sides to everything.
Right.
No, there's not three sides. There's one side. That's the truth.
Right.
The other people are just lying.
Yeah. Word.
There's the truth. There's only truth. And then the other stuff deviates. It's a lie. You are wrong. It does not say that in the Bible. There's no side to that.
Yeah.
We all can read it now. Update, miss. I'm black, but it's legal for me to read. Yeah. I've read the same thing. It does not. It actually says the opposite of that. There is no problem with that. We are all supposed to be one and the same. But these same people, what's very interesting is they will not describe themselves as racist.
Right. So
she didn't say I'm a racist, so I won't support a mixed race.
Right.
She said I'm Christian.
And that's what I want to know. Like, so you make cakes for black people. But what's in those cakes since they're not for white?
I don't want your white supremacist pastries near any of my offices. Please tell me where this bakery is.
I can't.
I'm glad this happens.
Right.
Because you're no longer getting my money.
Right. Exactly. And it's so weird where it's just, especially when you follow something that you can know is wrong. You can you love thy neighbor.
Whoa.
I just want to know at what point.
But wait, you didn't read the next verses unless they're mixed race.
Right. Like
it's very simple. It's very simple. When you go and you just sit down, these principles are just there and they're simple. Love thy neighbor. Love, love, love. All over the place. All over the place. Don't pass judgment all over the place.
Right.
All over the place.
I can't understand it. Because, all right, you serve God, right?
Yes.
And you serve everyone around you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At what point did it say enforce God's love onto other people? Or
Never.
Do this or do
Never.
Like, I just want to know at what point does it say like, and this is literally the power of the mind where generations and generations of dehumanizing other people
Yes.
can take effect where you can't even see the wrongness in your actions.
Yes.
And that's the crazy part where it's just like, oh, but I'm not doing anything wrong because this is what. Who said that?
Who?
Some
Did you
other
read?
man who was
You
wrong?
obviously aren't Christian because you didn't read it yourself.
Right.
But think about it. What does that implicate about the church that she goes to?
Mm-hmm.
What does that implicate?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna follow her all day, and I can't wait to see her go to a barbecue place because I'm gonna be like, it said no pork.
No pork.
It said no pork.
No pork.
You read the Bible. It said,
Yep.
can't
What are
eat
you
that.
doing with those shrimp? I'm gonna save you,
Yo,
Christian.
did you know in the Bible it says you can't wear mixed fabrics?
Mixed fabrics.
So if I see you in a 99% blend,
That's it.
you're going to hell.
Or
Going to hell.
you can be intelligent enough to understand that that was contextual to the time.
Right.
And so you understand that you live in 2019.
Right.
And that has no application to us right now.
Right.
But those things were actually there. It said nothing about mixed race at all. At all.
We're gonna start following the Bible because I'm almost certain that it was close to African countries. So I'm almost certain that they apply to us more than they apply to everyone else. So I'm not gonna serve anybody.
I mean, the original Bible, I believe, was found in Ethiopia.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna serve anybody. Man, I can't wait to get to heaven and be like, yo, man, yo, what's going on down there?
Yo,
If I
listen,
get there,
you
just
know,
so
listen. People just gotta stop. They gotta stop. They gotta stop. They gotta stop with the fake hate. And you know, one of the problems that we have is stop being nice about hatred.
Right.
I got no problem with this lady still.
Right.
I don't hate her. But I'm going to be honest, your words are hateful.
Right.
Your words are hurtful. They're only meant for harm. And that shit sucks. That I'm not down with.
Right.
You, I can get down with. You're a human being. You're a child of God. That's it. But what you said is messed up.
Right.
What you did to that lady is messed up. And people got to be honest. Stop giving some credence to their bias.
Right.
It's disgusting. It's wrong.
I just want to know where the mixed race stuff comes from.
Where is the mixed race stuff come from?
I don't know. Anyways.
Someone taught her that.
Yeah. So it was just like, can't serve with them.
This is wrong. It's so wrong. It's against the Bible.
Where was it?
The Bible. What chapter?
Deuteronomy. Chapter 257.
Whatever.
Verse 19.
You read it. You ever see people who like really don't
Know
have
the Bible?
Yeah.
Never read it.
Or any argument they have where like you say, where on the internet can I find this? Can you send this to me? I'm not doing the work for you.
Yeah.
Just go read it up. Go search it.
I'm on
Go
it.
Google it. It's like, you know you don't have it.
Right.
You know you don't have it. Bubba, you know you can't figure it out because it's not there.
Yeah, that's wild for me.
Man, that was this week in social media. This week in racism. All right,
Yeah.
another great episode.
Yes.
The Loose Cannons Podcast.
Yes.
I'm No Justin, No Peace.
And I'm Lou Rivers.
And every week we sit down and we fire off our opinions on today's pop culture, politics, and movies and how they all intersect. This was the social breakdown. And join us for the rest of the week when we do the power recap and we do the movie recap. We're doing Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones.
On Netflix. Go check it out.
Listen, like, share, subscribe.
Comment.
Be
do
here
all
every
that
week,
good stuff.
sitting down. We always got some good shit.
Yes.
All right. Peace.